Shalom, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom also to the one-third Israelites, which include the Judas children, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Indians, who are still oppressed together according to the book of Jeremiah 50 and 33, but to whom Saleh pertained the adoption, the giving of the law, the promises, the glory, and the covenants, according to the book of Romans chapter 9. Okay, Saleh. And North Korea launched, basically North Korea was shooting another missile, this time not over Japan, but in the Sea of South Korea. Okay, so clearly they want to show, okay, that they are developed enough to basically cut off different nations from this planet, okay, with their weapons. And this is Fox News, okay, not to give you a lying pressing machine or so, but to to show you the relationship between North Korea and Gog and Magog, which is Russia. North Korea sides with Russia in annexation of Ukraine. North Korea echoes Putin claims that the US seeks unipolar dominance by prolonging war in Ukraine. North Korea on Tuesday threw its support behind Russian President Vladimir Putin's attempts to illegally seize Ukrainian land by annexing 4 regions. In a statement released by North Korean Foreign Ministry Director General of the Department's International Organizations, Cho Sol-su, claimed the referenda held last week in Ukraine signified the will of the people and was in keeping the UN Charter. The official's comments echoed claims made by Putin after polls allegedly showed Ukrainians in the Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhzhia, and Kherson regions overwhelmingly supported seceding from Ukraine. Kyiv and Western officials have repeatedly accused Russia of falsifying the results, which alleged show that 87 to 99% of the region's population supported annexation in the wake of Russia's deadly invasion. John Kirby reacts to unacceptable North Korean missile launch. Okay, not something that we want to look at, but following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Putin and Kim Jong-un's relationship has become closer. Officials from Russia and North Korea who have band together amid stiff international sanctions have accused the US of using Ukraine in an attempt to maintain an unipolar world. The US interferes in the internal affairs of independent countries and infringes upon their legal rights by abusing the United Nations Security Council, UNSC. Okay, and this is how you know that the scripture, that you have to keep the things of the scripture exactly how they are, because this hair of this man, okay, Kim Jong-un, shows how hair really has an effect on people, man, okay? Because if you watch closely, this hair here, okay, look how he made it, right? So they have actually like, for example, compared to his hair, okay? So this is basically more in order here, okay? But why is that? Okay, because they have 13 hairstyles for men and 13 hairstyles for women, okay? I don't know the exact number, but it's about 10 or so for one gender, okay? And guess what? If you cut your hair, you're not allowed to have any other hairstyling than, I bet this is one of it, okay? Of this 10 different there, okay? So this is actually law what they have in North Korea, okay? So they're basically everybody wears the same hair basically there, man, okay? So basically, the scripture says don't cut your beard off, don't make lines, these lineups on your beard, things like that, okay? Okay. Because if you just watch it, you clearly see directly, if you just scroll here, this hair comes directly at your eye, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, because scripture tells you, okay, if you do these things, lineups and cutting your beard and things like that, it looks like you're a girl or so, okay? It looks directly and really, really fast, okay? And in these people's minds comes the thought of you being gay or, you know, whatever it is. So the Director General said in a statement, this is the same old trick of the US and the world has witnessed lots of similar illegal acts. Putin has rallied his allies, including China, okay, which is, China is Moab, okay, Iran and North Korea. Okay, Iran is Persia, behind the claim that the US seeks global dominance over Phobia. That superior US and European weaponry have allowed Kiev to defend itself effectively. Ukrainian soldiers sit on infantry fighting vehicles as they drive near Izium, eastern Ukraine on September the 16th, 2022, amid the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Okay, and also I was reading something, okay, there's a new YouTube video, I don't know which show it is, but they said that North Korea deliver new and really, really deadly weapons to Putin, man. Okay, here it is. Okay, North Korea supplying Putin with deadly weapons for use in Ukraine. Okay, we will not watch that, but I can post it in the or should we?
Military exercises with the U.S. Tensions between North and South Korea are rising. According to the White House, North Korea is sending substantial amounts of artillery shells to Russia to aid Vladimir Putin in his conflict with Ukraine. In reference to the bombs, National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby stated that the U.S. thinks the Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un state is trying to make it appear as though they are being shipped to countries in the Middle East or North Africa. He declined to give a precise estimate of the amount of ammunition being given covertly to support the Russian effort. We're still keeping an eye on this to see if the goods are actually arrived, he added. According to Mr. Kirby, the U.S. has some idea of the country or countries that the North may be using to smuggle the weapons. He chose not to go into further detail, though, since the administration is currently considering its options. The White House declined to say how the shipments would be transported or whether the U.S. or other countries would make an effort to stop them before they reached Russia. Nearly 2 months had passed since the initial allegations that U.S. intelligence agents had discovered that the Russian Ministry of Defense was allegedly planning to purchase millions of rockets and artillery shells from North Korea. As a result of the latter's joint military exercises with the U.S., tensions between North and South Korea are rising. According to the White House, North Korea is sending substantial amounts of artillery shells to Russia to aid Vladimir Putin in his conflict with Ukraine. In reference to the bombs, National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby stated that the U.S. thinks the Supreme Leader
shoots missile.
North Korea has fired a ballistics missile over northern Japan. The first time this has happened in 5 years. Authorities in Tokyo and Seoul confirmed the launch, saying the missile flew 4,000 kilometers before falling into the Pacific Ocean. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida condemned the act, calling it outrageous. The government alerted residents in northeastern regions to evacuate to shelters. It also halted some trains as a precaution. Let's bring in Josh Smith, journalist in Seoul, and see.
Feel for how they're
Breaking news, North Korea fired more than 20 missiles overnight, their largest
North Korea fires missile into South Korean waters.
missiles ever. South Korea fires back. The country now on high alert. And our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is on the scene in Seoul. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. A number of notable firsts here today. This is the first time that North Korea has fired a ballistic missile into South Korea. It landed about 15 miles into its territorial waters. As you mentioned, it's also the largest number of missiles.
All these events happening in 1 month or so.
This is the first time that North Korea has fired a ballistic missile into South Korea. It landed about 15 miles into its territorial waters. As you mentioned, it's also the largest number of missiles ever fired in a single day by the North. It triggered air raid sirens in one South Korean town. They also fired artillery shells and surface-to-air missiles. Now, they said that this was in response to a massive military exercise being held by the U.S. and the South Korean militaries. The U.S. military calling out the North for its, quote, reckless behavior. And South Korea responding in a way that it has never done before, firing 3 missiles into North Korea's territorial waters from aircraft. Analysts are telling us this is a significant escalation in the Korean peninsula. They say that maybe this is North Korea laying the groundwork for a nuclear test. They haven't had one of those since 2017. George.
Yeah, the situation is tense. It's been a while. Okay, Matt, thanks very much.
And, let's continue in this article. U.S. South Korea conduct precision bomb drills after North Korea fires ballistic missile over Japan. Days are going never to return when the U.S. can use the UNSC Salahia as its shield and means of aggression for maintaining its supremacy, he added, accusing the UNSC of employing gangster-like double standards. The comments from the North Korean ministry coincided with Pyongyang's decision to fire an unannounced ballistic missile over Japan, which has joined the US and its NATO allies in condemning Moscow's illegal invasion of Ukraine. The missile, the longest test fired by North Korea with a range of more than 2,800 miles, was immediately condemned by the White House, which accused Pyongyang of blatantly violating UNCS-mandated international safety norms. This photo provided by the North Korean government shows what it says a test launch of a hypersonic missile on January 11, 2022 in North Korea. Independent journalists were not given access to cover the event depicted in this image distributed by the North Korean government. The content of this image is provided and cannot be independently verified. Korean language watermark on image as provided by a source reads KCNA, which is the abbreviation for Korean Central News Agency. Korean Central News Agency, Korea News Service via IP. The United States will continue its efforts to limit North Korea's ability to advance its prohibited ballistic missile and weapons of mass destruction programs, including with allies and UN partners, the administration said in a statement. Okay, Khan, and America has the supremacy, okay, in fact, the supremacy of being the only, mainly the heathens that live in America are the ones who receive no mercy out of all heathen, okay? So if that's some supremacy, I don't know. So let's go into some scriptures. I said mercy, you know, some kind of mercy, because there's a bill for everyone on this earth, man, every last human being, even the 144,000, okay, you know, we're not saved yet, also, you know, the hopeful elect, I mean, okay, because we don't know if we're saved yet, but anyway, rumors of war, okay, rumors of war, a main scripture that you can use to show or to look what tokens, or what are these tokens that we see, okay, and tokens means sign if you don't know. And this is Matthew 24:6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye not be troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay, you see. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Okay, that will happen eventually, because just because you see the United States of America being in conflict with North Korea and Russia and whatever, you know, doesn't mean that they will not all be heathens in the end and coming against Israel, basically. But we will see how it all will further form, because, you know, there are things happening on the side of Yahweh Hashem Moshai when it comes to spiritual power and things like that, you know, different things. Isaiah 41:15, behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them, and thou shalt rejoice in the Lord, and shall glory in the Holy One of Israel. When the pure, verse 17, and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I the Lord will hear them, I the God of Israel will not forsake them. I will open rivers in high places and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and the dry land springs of water. Okay, Khan, there will be something, you know, in the wilderness again. Okay, you know, and we will see how it all works out with this second Exodus, okay, because the second Exodus will be in a different shape, basically. You know, you have UAPs instead of, instead of dividing the water. We will see, okay, how it all will basically fit together in this win-win situation of ours. Okay, So with that, all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Shai, Hashem, Crush Bhaktam.